Hi.
Hi.
Coming.
New look.
Deepak is really
hello.
rocking in
Deepak's new look.
Good
this,
evening.
rocking in this mode. He loves this online thing. I can see his enthusiasm is like overfilled.
When have you
Deepak.
seen me unenthusiastic, Kshama?
Always,
Deepak.
always seen you enthusiastic, but this is like I've seen the bubbly you.
Hey,
The
guy,
real.
come on. Deepak is always bubbly. But
Yeah.
Pinto,
the
you have
special one
matured
is the
between the last meeting to now, man.
This is the difference
Hi.
between wine and champagne, actually.
Hi, Pami.
Hi. How are you,
How are you?
Sanjeev?
I'm good, Pami.
How's the participation looking? It's at 21 at the moment. Okay.
That's the reflection of your marks card, Deepu.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I had to crack the whip several times today.
Yeah. Hi.
Thank you,
Hi.
Sanjeev, for
Hi,
your
hi.
Hi.
Deepu, you have to come from a past class to distinction today.
Hello.
And he might be entitled to a scholarship from us as well.
No, he'll be on the dean's list.
Good evening, everyone.
Hi,
Good evening,
Amita.
Good evening,
madam.
Amita. Good evening, Deepak.
Good evening.
Keમ છો, Parimal bhai?
Ekdam majama.
Majama
Ekdam
cho,
majama.
Parimal bhai.
Taddan totally.
Saras. તબિયત સારી છે?
Oops, sorry.
Hey, Amita.
Hi, Kshama. How are you doing?
Good, good. Hi, Sanjeev. How are you?
Hi, Sama. Hi. How are you? How are you?
Very well. On the top of the world.
Shama, you can
Good.
say hi to me also.
You said no, but you were
Pami is
talking to your
Pami, you're looking different. Nice.
See, staying at home, good things happen to you.
Yeah, glow on your face, Pami. Lot of, look
I'm
great.
saving on light bill. I'm saving on power bills.
Mummy will
Hi.
surely now eat idli so that your mouth starts watering.
Hi, Gopal. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good.
Look good.
Yeah, good.
Looking like a big boss.
I'm just going to
Hi,
test the
Ravi.
sound.
Hi,
Ravi.
sir. Hi, sir.
Don't mind me. I'm just going to test the sound. Bear with me, please. Are you see this, folks?
We can hear you.
Can you see the slide?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Sound now.
Can make slightly louder.
The
From
slide
success to
is a little bit unclear, Parimal.
The sound. Okay.
Slide.
the sound is okay. What he's
Okay.
talking about slide. He's talking about slide, not the sound.
Okay.
Sound
The
is
slide
fine.
is not. Okay.
Sound is good.
Now. Okay. Bear with me, please.
Yeah, you can read from success to significance, and later below that you can't read anything.
It got better just now.
Yeah.
How are you, Vimalji?
I'm fine, Kshama. How are you?
Very well, very well.
Namaste, Vimalji.
Namaste, namaste.
How are you?
Vimal, you're on wheels or you're in the house?
I am on the 4 wheels.
That's why we can see you rocking.
He is on reset.
The problem is I am not able to hear the sound.
The sound is quite good.
Bear with me.
Parimal, you have to be in significance. You will get the success.
Hi, Jawar bhai.
How are you, sir?
Fine. How are you?
All good, Gopal.
Yeah, now it's very clear, Parimal.
No, they're just checking.
I just got to see Geeta Jayaraman for a second. Hi, Pauline.
Hi. Good evening, all.
Good evening.
Hi.
Hi, Pallini.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
Who's singing that?
Yeah, somebody singing. Sai Ram. Sai Ram.
Aarti. Someone's aarti is going on.
Yeah.
Hello, how are you?
That was Meeru singing her aarti for the evening.
Nice. Good to hear that, Jawahar bhai. Good to hear that.
Good evening, Jawar.
Namaskar, sir.
I see you on your favorite vocation.
Which is?
Just putting something in your mouth.
Oh, that's normal, sir.
See?
Jawahar bhai, good evening.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
God's grace, all fine, sir.
You're looking good.
Hi, Jawar. Hi, Puneet. Hi.
Hi,
Jalanare, namaskara.
Puneet avರಿಗೆ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಸರ್.
ನೀವು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರ್ತೀವಿ.
Good evening.
Good evening, Atul.
How are you, Vice President?
I'm doing fine, sir. Thank you very much. How are you, Mr. President?
Not bad, not bad.
Mr. President,
I see we got Srikanth also. Hi, Srikanth.
Hi, Srikanth.
Srikanth has new
Hi,
look.
Bobby. Hi, Jawad.
Srikanth, you have gone to an army camp or something?
I'm about to, yeah.
High time you went there.
Hi, Srikanth. How are you?
Yourself. You are becoming the
Hi,
president.
Sanjeev.
How are you? After a long
Very
time.
good, Sanjeev. Yeah, I know. Looking good.
Kamalji, you are coming to the meeting or going? Vimalji?
I am coming to the meeting.
Oh, okay.
But I have to see where to come because all of you are in different parts of the city.
You please position yourself somewhere. Then we'll send you a Google pin.
Okay.
Good evening, Vimal.
Good evening. Good evening.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you. How are you?
You
Vimal, you have no light
India
on
or
the face.
somewhere else out?
I am in India.
So
Vimal, put on some light on your car. Put on some light on your face.
Whatever light is there, I put in. Now it's okay.
Yeah,
Now it's better.
Now you are glowing. You're looking like the future president now.
Okay.
Immediately
I don't
future
know.
president, is it?
No, future president.
Can we make him immediately future?
Oh, you want to relinquish your office?
I am ready. Anu, hi.
I heard some very interesting comments being made about future president.
No, don't worry. You are not in competition.
All laudatory comments. Has Valerie joined?
They'll very make you wait for the role. Srikanth.
Hey, hi, Kshama.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi.
Waiting to hear you.
Thank you. I've heard you several times on your hexagon talk.
Good evening, everyone. Anupallavi Gokhale, President of Rotary Orion Gateway. Good evening, Ravi.
Good evening. Welcome, Manu.
Thank you, Ravi. Just having a network issue. Valerie is joining.
You've spoken to her?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as soon as she comes in, I think we can get
Yes.
started.
Very much.
I think Valerie has joined already.
Valerie, hi.
Yes, I can see her here. At least the background.
You're right, she's here. Yvonne is also here.
Yes, Anu.
Good on.
Pavan.
Hi, Gopal.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. There is some challenge in my iPhone, so the camera is not starting. I don't know why.
Go to Android, Pavan. Don't be so high-tech.
No, I was in Android. Now I've shifted to Apple phone. It says unable to access camera allow Zoom to access your camera by setting. So I think I have to go to that privacy and set it. Lot of things to learn here. What to do.
Go into a private room, Pawan.
Private room and do what?
What you've been always doing with your iPhone.
I think we've just reached a magic number of 50 participants.
Oh, that's great.
And it is also almost 10 past 7. I can see Anu. Is Valerie there?
Yeah, Ravi.
There you are. Okay. So let me start by welcoming everybody to this. It is the 10th weekly meeting for us, a speaker meeting for us, and the first joint meeting of the year. In fact, it's probably the second or third joint meeting in the last 3 years. So it is an exceptional thing, and I'm very glad that we're doing it with two really dynamic clubs led by two outstanding presidents, Anu Gokhale from Orion Gateway and Valerie George from Rotary Kalyan, who are doing some outstanding projects on the ground. So without further ado, I would request both the presidents also to collar themselves, and then we can start by observing a moment of quiet reflection.
We request everyone to mute, please, those who are not talking.
Thank you, everybody. So once again, welcome to not only Midtowners, special welcome to our guests from Orion Gateway and from Rotary Kalyan. We're very happy to have you with us today. In the interest of time, I'm going to move straight away to the president's announcement of Midtown and then hand it over to the other two clubs to do the same. Birthday greetings. On the 16th of December, we have Ravi Kumar Vemulkar. On the 19th of December, Navkesh Batra, Anne Ananta Shroff, and Anne Rajneev. On 21st of December, we have Rotarian Maratukulam. And as far as anniversaries is concerned, today is the anniversary of Rotarian Kuntal Amin and Anne Madhavi Amin. So it's a great pleasure to have all of you. Once again, we have some outstanding speakers and an outstanding subject. More on that later. I will request the two joint presidents to make their announcements. And after that, our secretary will have 2 or 3 very brief announcements to make. Over to you, Anu.
Thank you so much, Rotarian Ravi. Good evening, everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to be introducing my club, Rotary Bangalore Orion Gateway, to all of you. Our club was chartered in 2016 with Rotarian Balrama as the charter president and myself as the charter secretary. We were sponsored by Rotary Bangalore Brigades. We started with 22 members and now we have 34 members. We meet at our clubhouse every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Most of the members live in our community, Brigade Gateway. I'm sure all of you know a very scenic location of Bangalore West. I would just give you a brief introduction about the projects we are doing. From our charter year, we have been working on creating a happy school at a village, Timlapura in Tubkur. We have refurbished toilets, provided clean drinking water, and also renovated the Anganwadi there. Every year, we distribute notebooks, shoes, and do a lot of community work at the government school, Timlapura. We have been conducting comprehensive medical camps, WINS, and MHMs. We have planted more than 5,000 saplings till date. Under COVID relief activities, we have Are you able to hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, you are, but request
yeah.
everybody please mute themselves. There's a lot of background sound. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes. Yeah. Under COVID relief activities, we have donated masks, grocery kits, and cooked meals to the needy. We have 3 Interact clubs, 1 Rotaract club, and 2 RCCs. This year, our prime area of focus has been disease prevention, working on women's cancer care and cause. We had organized 2 fundraisers, a musical one and a virtual theater play, raising rupees 85,000 for marginalized women's cancer treatment. I would like to thank Rotarian Ravi Nedungadi and Rotarian Valerie for their generous contribution towards our fundraisers. Another interesting project we had scheduled was a multi-district international virtual RILA with Rotary Bangalore Kalyan and many other clubs, which was a mega success, reaching students across the globe. The program was broadcasted via YouTube with more than 1,000 live audiences. We were also a part of Jota Joti, world's largest scout event. It was a virtual event. And we Orioners are delighted to be a part of this joint meeting. One announcement we have. This Saturday, 19th December at 9:30 a.m., we have scheduled a breast cancer screening camp for the housekeeping and security staff at Brigade Gateway in collaboration with BGAOA and Rotary Bangalore Brigades. Request all of you to be a part of this project. Thank you so much. Over to Rotarian Ravi.
Thank you very much, President Anu. So all of you can understand why I said this is such a dashing club in 3 years to have done so much. President Valerie.
Yeah, hi, Ravi. Sorry, my internet is actually lagging behind, and I'm not able to put on my video. So I can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So my video will be off if you all don't mind. Otherwise, it's switching off.
Well, that's fine, Valerie.
Thank you so much, Ravi. Yeah. So good evening to all of you all. And I'm really delighted and happy that Ravi has invited us as to be a joint for this joint meeting. So it's lovely to be along with the Orion Gateway as well as Midtown to be part of the meeting. Me and my club really are very, very thankful to Ravi and Anu for giving us this opportunity. So I would like to just give a small brief on our projects which we are about to do. Of course, first of all, let me say that we have our wedding anniversary tomorrow of one of our Rotarians, and on the 16th we celebrate the wedding anniversary of our Rotarian Pavitran and his wife Sumalata. So we congratulate them and wish them all the best for the future. And having said that, we are having a toy drive. Our next project would be, we have done a lot of projects in the past. I wouldn't want to go through that, but definitely would like to ask everyone to join in hands to help us in this toy drive which we are having, which would be end of this month. It is you have a lot of underprivileged children who do not have a toy, and many of us just throw away our toys. So whether you are decluttering your house or whatever you can call it, but those toys can be given to many underprivileged children. So myself and Anu, along with the District 3190, have decided to have this toy drive and reach all the toys which are there to these underprivileged children. Please join us and help us in collecting the toys and giving it to these children. Then our next project would be our shelter project. It is for the people who would be living. It is most of them are migrants from from close to Karnataka, North Karnataka, and who have been living in a place called the Sunday Market in Lingarajpuram. We are planning to make 33 shelters for them. So again, this would be a district project, and we request that all the presidents join in and help us to build these shelters for the people. So with that, I think we would be happy to have this project, making it a big success. Thanks, Ravi. Back to you.
Thank you, Valerie. In fact, I should let Midtowners know that President Valerie is very active in a particular depressed area where Midtown is giving daily meals every day. So she's involved in that same area of Lingarajpuram. And I'm sure over time that we're going to find ways of doing projects together apart from just doing joint meetings. Quickly over to Secretary Palani for your announcements, please.
Thank you, President Ravi, and a very warm welcome to Rotary Orion Gateway and Rotary Kalyan. We have the business meeting for adoption of accounts and elections of the incoming board on the 22nd of December. The dot glasses initiative will be a life-changing initiative for people with fading eyesight, and we are kicking off with the project, the pilot happening on the 18th of December this week. We have the blood donation camps at the Air Force and Army camps. Dates for the same will be announced shortly. The first ICGF is coming up on the 27th of December. Midtown has reserved 20 seats. Those interested can contact me, the secretary. Thank you so much, and over to the president.
Thank you, Secretary Palani. Now to the main event of the day. It is my great pleasure to have Rotarian past President Kshama, who was a president of our own club, and also a fellow Rotarian from Gujarat, Parimal Gandhi. Both of them eminent people, eminent speakers, and outstanding achievers in their field, to talk to us on a subject which I think is relevant to all of us at our time of life, moving from a life of success to a life of significance. So I'll request President Valerie to please introduce the two speakers.
Thank you, Ravi. Thank you for that. I'm honored, in fact, to introduce the two speakers today, because having gone through their their achievements are, I'm really delighted to say that I think it is unmatched to anything. So let me start by first introducing Rotarian Parimal N. Gandhi, founder, chairman, and principal trainer, Academy of Human Excellence. In the profession since over 45 years, Parimal is a result-oriented, innovative, gifted, and acclaimed international facilitator, coach, speaker, and author. His abiding interest lies in the application of timeless philosophies to work and life of holistic development, performance, and happiness. With academic background in chemical engineering, literature, and several international training certifications, he orchestrates heartfelt learning experiences in the area of interest, leadership, teams, customer service, performance management, innovations, time management, and trainer trainings. His client list includes a number of Fortune 500 companies. He has spoken at several international and Rotary District Conference and works in India, Mexico, and USA. Having been the beneficiary of 5 corneal transplants, he is a powerful advocate for eye donation. Amongst his most prestigious assignments is a training program conducted for the presidents and cabinet of Mexico. He has trained 1,15,000 plus participants and 1,500 plus trainers. In Rotary, he has been a member for Rotary Club of Baroda since 27 years. He is a vice president for Rotary International Travel and Holistic Fellowship. He is an author of the bestseller book Can Surmount. He has received a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Indian Society for Training and Development and the We Care Foundation Award for facing cancer 4 times with an indomitable courage and resilience. So this is all about Parimal Gandhi. So, wonderful, sir. Thank you so much for all this which I've read. Great. So now we would go ahead and again introduce our second speaker of the day, past president and Rotarian from Midtown, Kshama Bhatia. She is the president Rotarian of Rotary Bangalore Midtown. Kshama is a globally renowned, passionate leadership and management speaker, professor, facilitator, and writer. She is a dynamic and yet very empathetic vision and extremely agile in terms of keeping herself updated professionally, personally, and technically. Seasoned serial entrepreneur, she has been involved founding 4 startups in IT service, edutech, healthcare and management, and human resource management. Her current edutech startup, Ed Center Incorporate, is the world's largest aggregator for L&D contents and a one-step solution for the lifelong learning and skilling needs of individual employees and students. She has a PhD from Hand School of Business at Berkeley, USA in International Finance, and an MBA from Universities of Leeds in UK. Kshama has worked with the big fives of global projects at Lead Consultants. Kshama is the managing director of Academy of Human Excellence, a global training and development company. So that's for about Kshama. Now we can go to Parimal and Gandhi for to start on his talk for today.
Thank you, President Valerie. Parimal and Kshama, over to you.
Thank you, Ravi.
So you're muted. Can you unmute yourself?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much to all the 3 Rotary clubs. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. We are both delighted to be here to discuss a topic which is of great interest to us. I would like to begin by requesting everyone to switch on their video for a moment. You can switch it off as soon as this exercise is over. Can we please do this quickly? Please switch on your video. Thank you very much, all of you that can do it. I'm going to request you to do something very simple. Please listen to me carefully and do what I'm asking you to do. Would you kindly raise your hands? Please go ahead. Okay, let me ask you, is this the best you can do? In the next 5 seconds, can I have the best possible performance from you? Okay, I see some of you standing up. I see a person with just one hand up. Can we have both hands up? And please don't be married.
Parimal, I'm holding the phone in one hand.
Okay, please don't be married to your chair. You can stand up and you can now sit down. Thank you very much. What is the point of this exercise? The initial performance that we got is success. This is not bad. This is actually pretty good. You know, if you were being counted for drinks or for tea or coffee, you would be counted in. The performance that I got later, when you stood up, when you raised your hands to the maximum height, is really significance. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a lot in there that is waiting to come out. All it needs is to be asked. Please do not take yourself for granted. Please do not be satisfied. Please do not be complacent. Because picture abhi baki hai doston. The movie has just begun for all of us. Let me go to my slides. I'm going to hurry because there is a lot to be said, and we also want to engage in a discussion with everyone. Kshama, I may have some difficulty in terms of not being able to hear my own sound coming from the slides. So at some point, you may need to tell me to stop playing the music. Kshama, with me?
Yes, got you. Got you.
All right, thank you. Is the sound audible?
No.
No. Okay. Please bear with me a moment.
Okay, so while we're waiting for Parimal to fix this, we are not going to say anything new today, but we are going to remind all of you, like Parimal just did with this little exercise, that there is a lot more that we know about life that we don't explore in the rut of living life. So that is that really is the goal of this whole conversation, that we should be able to explore more into and reach deeper into who we really are.
Is there sound now?
No, Parimal.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to assume that this is not going to work, and I'm just going to go without the sound. Yes. Thank you very much once again. Let me take you to the polls. I have 3 polls, and I'm going to ask you to take part in these polls quickly. The first question I'm asking you is, I would describe myself as, would you say you are successful or would you say you are significant? You need to make one choice and your answers are anonymous.
So if you can't fill out the poll because you don't have your screens on, you can just put in the chat and I'll put it out to Parimal.
Please go ahead. Let's do this quickly. There are 61 people present. 26 have voted. Go for it, guys. Go for it, ladies.
Successful.
Would you call yourself successful or would you call yourself significant?
Significant other.
Okay, I'm going to end the polling and I'm going to share the results with you. Can you see the results? 44% are saying that they are successful, but as many as 56%, sorry, are saying that they are significant. Okay. Thank you very much. Let me take you to the next poll.
Parimal, some might be saying that they are the significant other.
Trust you to come up with that. Thank you. Kshama, if you could please print the screen.
It's gone. Go ahead. Let's move on to the next one, please.
Okay. All right. So the next poll says, if someone is successful, they are significant. Do you agree or disagree? Okay, we have 45 out of 63 votes. Go for it, the remaining 46. 3 more seconds. Okay, let me end the polling. Interesting result. Let me share the results with you. 61% are saying that they disagree, and which means that they are saying if someone is successful, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are significant. And 39% are saying that if they are successful, they are significant. Okay. And one last poll. I hope you are finding this interesting.
It's very interesting. This is Aarti Madhapa. Very, very interesting.
Thank you. The last one is asking you, one needs to have a lot to be able to give. Okay, mute please. One needs to have a lot to be able to give. Do you agree or do you disagree? I'm launching the polling. Fascinating, and the answers are coming in very quickly. 43 answers so far, 44, 45. Come on, folks, the rest of you, give me an answer. 2 seconds more, 47. Interesting result. Let me share the result with you. As many as 88% say that they disagree, which means one does not need to have a lot to be able to give. And we have 13% who are saying that you do need a lot to be able to give. Okay, I'm stopping the polling, I'm moving on. What is success? The dictionary meaning is the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. So,
Satish,
when I,
please, Satish, can you go mute, please?
okay, so when I achieve what I have set out to achieve, I can say I'm successful. For most people, it also means the attainment of fame, wealth, or social status. Continuing, for most Rotarians, we have dreamt it and we have fulfilled our dreams. There are some other dimensions of success which people look at, people talk about. One is, do I have a name? Am I famous? What cars do I drive? What houses, farmhouses, properties do I have? What is my company's turnover? How many 100 crores or how many 1,000 crores? What position do I hold? Am I in a position of power? Who are the people that I know? So my network, my spouse, do I have a trophy wife or a trophy-er wife or a trophy husband? My children, what they are up to, which universities are they studying abroad, and so on and so forth. Who are the in-laws? So in other words, who is the samdi? Good looks, jewelry. So I have so many carats. My wife wears so many carats, diamonds, whatever. What brands do I wear? What are the qualifications that I have? So I have PhD from a name brand university. I'm able to charter airplanes or I own airplanes. Where do I take my vacations? And what kind of destinations do my children get married at? So these are some of the things that I have picked out. I'm sure there are many more where people, look at success or talk about success. All of them at the root involve money. And money is, according to me, an expensive addiction. Once you start earning it little by little, you start dropping other things that you're doing. And then the only thing that over a period of time, over some decades, the only thing that you know to do is to make money and to make more money. Some of the trade-offs that people make to build an empire and to build an incredible bank balance is, and to build lots of assets, health and fitness, prayer, they give up on prayer, they don't have time to pray, no time for puja, under a lot of stress, relationships suffer, friendships suffer, hobbies go for a toss. So yes, In my college days, I used to play the flute, but I no longer do it. I don't have time. Ethics sometimes are compromised. There is exploitation of resources, exploitation of people, and I create pollution. So these are some of the trade-offs against money. Let's quickly study human needs, and all of you that have gone to management school are familiar with this. This is called Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Down at the bottom, you have physiological needs, which is roti, kapda, makan. And then you have safety needs. You want security, you want safety. Then you have belongingness and love needs. So this is something where, a lot of people during COVID-19 got very frustrated because they could not meet the people that they wanted to meet. Even today, Rotarians long for Rotary meetings because the face-to-face fellowship that used to happen, it's not the same on Zoom, although it does do something of a substitution, but it's really not the same as slapping somebody on the back and saying, how are you, my friend? So COVID has affected that. Then we have esteem needs. So once we belong to a group, we want to stand out. And so I want prestige and I want a feeling of accomplishment. All these four are parameters of success. Now, when you go up the pyramid, you go to self-actualization. Now, this is personal and it is within me. So I'm thinking, have I achieved my full potential? When raising hands, I was asking you, is this the best you can do? And so periodically you ask yourself, is this the best you can do? And the answer usually is, I can do more. I can do better. There are opportunities. And it includes creative activities. It includes doing something new, doing something different, doing something far more significant. So you can see where significance fits in. And unless I feel self-actualized, there will be a niggling, something pulling at me, and there will be some sense of discontent, some sense of dissatisfaction. What is significance? Again, a dictionary meaning, being worthy of attention and importance. It also means leaving a lasting impact or legacy. As Robin Sharma says, the title of his book says, "Who will cry when you die?" So leaving a lasting impact or legacy. Will I be remembered? Who will remember me? How many will remember me? All of us do realize at some stage in our lives that money is a tool. We are not going to be able to carry it with us. They say, kafan ko jeb nahi hai. It is a cloth that you put on a dead body, doesn't have a pocket. Or kabar mein almari nahi hai. So in a grave, there is no cupboard. All this stuff that we produced, which we are so proud of, is temporary. We are not going to be able to take it with us. So it's really in this lifetime, what you do with it that matters. Success usually means net worth, whereas significance is our actual worth or how others value us. So I have this pot of money, but it's something growing out of it. Bangalore can very proudly speak of Azim Premji. All of us know this case. He's one of the top 10 givers in the world. our own Asim Premji. And then you have Kiran Mazumdar, and you have so many others who have given left, right, and center. The list begins with Bill Gates. And then you have, of course, Warren Buffett. And Warren Buffett has given to Bill Gates to give. Oh, fascinating. But of the lot, the one that I love is this guy who's called the James Bond of giving, Chuck Feeney. He gave away, I think, $8 billion, most of it anonymously. He was taken to court by his partner because he was drawing all this money from the business, rightfully so. But the partner said, I don't know where that money is going. Finally, he had to say, this is where the money is going. It's going to charity. He kept only $1 million for himself, lives in a rented accommodation in San Francisco, does not have a briefcase. He carries his papers in a plastic bag, walks to office, doesn't have a car, lives in a rented accommodation. And he's given away $8 billion or more. You know, another thought that I want to put, before you is what modern marketing is doing to us and to our children. It's saying you are incomplete. You buy my product, it will make you complete. So a cola is supposed to make you complete. You will be all joyful, all happy if you have a bottle of cola or a burger or whatever. But it keeps stressing you are incomplete without my product. What is the reality? What is spirituality telling us? An incomplete person does not give. Okay, our spirituality is telling us Purnamada Purnamidam. The details of this we'll get into at another time, but the operative part of this stroke is we are complete. If we give from that completeness, we will remain complete. Incomplete आदमी लेने के लायक होता है, complete आदमी देने के लायक होता है. We don't need, we need to give. We can give. Success focuses on the self and one's own needs. Maybe the needs of a limited circle, my family, my friends. Significance focuses on the needs of others and of communities. Something very interesting that I have run into, I started studying spirituality. And pretty much all religions agree that before God, no matter by what name they call it, call him or her, before God, there was nothing. There was only God. Understand the significance of this. There was nothing. So when he made the universe, when he made you and me, where did that material come from? That material came from himself or herself. Therefore, it is not a creation. A creation means using external material, but there was no external material. That means we are made from God material, all of us. And that means that the differences that we see in each other are illusory. I am you and you are me, and hence the Indian greeting Namaste, which means I bow to the divinity in you. You and I are not different. Manifestation and not creation. Avirbhav is the technical term for it. Kshama, over to you.
Yeah. So good evening. Now that Parimal has set the background, let us clarify some common misconceptions and look at practical ways of how to go from success to significance. Advait, there is a word in Sanskrit that means no to. When we draw water from an ocean in different pots, the water takes the shape of the pots, but the water in each pot is the same. Each pot has some of the ocean in it. So literally speaking, the water in the pot is the boundary drawn by the pot itself. So just like that, we are all pots of one ocean. And this alludes to what Parimal was just saying. Everything in this creation is in us, and we are part of everything. Now, the water in the ocean does not diminish no matter how many pots you fill. The love in our heart does not diminish no matter how much you dole out of it. Because the love we have in our heart is like the water from the ocean, it is endless and ever full. Now, this is a critical understanding. I'm just going to clarify a few concepts first, and then we'll go move on. So this me to we, right? Parimal, can you move the slide, please?
Yeah, I did.
We is the ocean, and me is the drop. The me stands because of the support of what it stands on and what is holding it. The we, the infinite ocean that I am. I don't have to be a part of it. I am the ocean. Next slide, please. So a wise man was once asked, how do we relate to others? He replied, there are no others. We are at once the ocean and the drop. There is no drop without the ocean. We are nobody without others. Now, why is this important, right? Next slide, please. The temporariness, right, of everything is where every frenzy originates. We associate with all things that are temporary. So Parimal talked about all the parameters of success and what we consider are important things. And if we go back to the polls, we realize there are a lot of us have very confused notions about success and significance. Now, when we hold on to things and associate with what is temporary and transient and then call that success, we are trying to preserve something that is inherently perishable, inherently transient, inherently temporary. All of us know, right? Our cars will go, houses will go, people, relationships will go, they'll all someday perish, and so will we, right? When we do this, when we try to hold on to our temporariness, what happens is we get this fear. I want, and I'm afraid that I won't get what I want. What I have will be taken away from me, either because I'm not good enough, or because it will run out, or because somebody else will take it away from me, or because it will leave. We have equated ourselves to our personality. And how small is that vision of who we really are? When we equate ourselves to being this small thing, we have fears and fixations about getting this or about getting that. We find ourselves pitched against others, become competitive, grab, all this born out of one single false notion, the limited personality. I am this limited pot. Next slide, please. So one more concept, Dan. Now, to feel better about our limitations and to feel bigger than this pot that we feel we are, we console ourselves by resorting to charity, quite mindlessly. We can only leave what is ours. And like Parimal alluded earlier, what is really ours? We came from something that doesn't belong to us. We're going to go back to something that is not us. So, yes, we own things. right? We earn things, but in the end, we leave it all behind. So we are then merely just custodians. This is who we are, custodians. The very act of giving is an act of violence, right? Whether we invariably tread on someone, the ants we kill, the mosquitoes we so mindlessly kill, the trees we fell, we extract from others who are smaller, serving us, or weaker, or working for us. It is not intentional that we do this, but it is just the way the world works. So when we return back what we do not need, we can reduce some of this burden. This is why we give daan. This is the real meaning of daan. It must not come from a place of pity, fear, or mercy. It must come from a place of fullness, love, and harmony. Sounds easy, really, right? But how do we do it? We know it, we all know this, but we are not able to do it. And you can see from the responses on the poll that we are far from it sometimes. Next slide, please. How do we give?
Actually, sorry to disturb, but we aren't able to see any slides. Huh?
Parimal?
Let me share it again.
No, it's visible. It's visible.
Yeah, we're able to see.
Okay.
Probably I can't see.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
You have turned off your something in your thing you need to fix. Prashant, was it?
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, Prashant.
Can you perhaps come out and then, come back in?
Yeah.
I'll do that.
I have to let him in. Okay, so charity, how do we give them? Charity given to a worthy person because it is a right to give without expectation of a favor either from the recipient, and this is a good one, from God. When we give, we feel like we are pleasing God very often. And who are we kidding? Right? At a proper time, in a proper place, and like Parimal said again, anonymously, this is charity. Parimal, can we move to the next slide, please?
Yeah. And to build capacity, so we teach people to fish rather than give them fish.
Right. So now let's move to this notion of success and significance, right? They're not mutually exclusive. Again, taking you back to the results of the poll. Success and significance need not be exclusive. They can go hand in hand. Success provides the infrastructure from which we can launch significance. It is not wrong to be successful, not at all. Just don't get trapped into success, this ownership feeling, this I must have feeling. Use your success as a launch pad, not to boast your ego and your value, but to increase your worth and your sense of being complete. Let's go back to the analogy of the pot in the ocean. See, operate from this sense of completeness. When we feel that way, everything we do becomes significant. Next slide, please. How then not to give? Daan, and really there is no real English translation for this, like in many words. Daan is not kripa. Daan is not daya, mercy, or mindless self-serving act of self-aggrandization, right? It is be aware of this trap. Really be aware of this trap. Check your intention when you give behind every action. For us Rotarians, giving comes easy, right? Remember that, we need to check for it to turn from success to significance. It is the intention. So some of you did respond that, to be significant, you don't have to have a lot. Daan is an opportunity to connect to the ocean that you are. Next slide, please. And how not to give. Don't make it a transaction or turn it into a competition. Dan is to be given, again, I'm repeating, from a place of fullness, not because you feel guilty or because you are sorry for someone. Who needs our pity? There's God to watch all over everything. Who needs our pity? Next slide, please. So, it's easy to give, and this is something that I really want to talk about. It's easy to give something when we have plenty. And again, taking you back to the polls that we did earlier. If we have enough, we can give. As Rotarians, we write checks, we donate CSR funds, we do many of these things. And so we understand this, right? The question is, how many of us would be willing to give away of that we have less of? So, the other day I was going in my car and a scrawny little thin beggar child came up to me just as I was popping a cookie in my mouth. Of course, the generous me, I immediately gave it to him. And the traffic light was still red. And so, we were waiting. This child had a beaming smile on his face. You'd think he'd pop it into his mouth. No, he ran across the street to his little sister, navigated all those cars, went to his little sister and popped it in her mouth. And the joy with which he did it brought tears to my eyes. How many of our children would do this for us? Yes, they may give something that, very easily share a piece of cookie. But, I have a bunch of Bihari boys working with us as house help. And I see that month after month, they send away 100% of their earnings to their family. Will our children do this for us? Now, who is greater? Let's think deeply about this. Will our children give away 100% of their wealth to us? Or to others, for that matter? This is giving, folks. This is giving. Giving when you yourself could have used it. Giving when you yourself were hungry for it. Giving without grudging, simply for the sake of another's happiness. This is what changes the nature of giving from success to significance. Next slide, Parimal. So here's another spiritual term. When we recognize that we don't have anything, that we don't really own anything, whether we have worked to get it or sweated to get it, all this abundance that we have has come to us because someone or something has worked for us. Please mute. And it was given away it was given to us to use, right? We are trapped in what I call the cycle of wanting more. There is someone who's unmuted, please. We are trapped in this cycle of what is called wanting more. Desires cause fear. Fear causes hoarding. Hoarding causes scarcity. Scarcity causes poverty. Seeing poverty causes guilt, and then we connect it to charity. They say there is enough for everyone's need, but not greed. Greed has no end. Wants are endless. When we live in the act we live and act with this awareness that we are merely custodians of all our possessions, pots that are holding the water of this infinite ocean, that is what makes our action Nishkam Karma. The end goal and the intention of every action directed from me to we. This is what Nishkam Karma is. Next slide, please, Parimal. I'm almost there, guys. Seva, another very misunderstood terminology. The translation of which, again, in English is limited. Service is not seva. It just does not do justice to this word. We all understand seva is much more than service. We all know it. It is service with selfless surrender. That is real seva. The kind that we do for a guru or a parent. Seva can and should only be done of someone who is way above us, who is a giver.
Hey, shut up.
Oh shit, who's that now?
Someone please mute.
That poor kid has had it today.
Giving of a different kind.
Right.
Yes.
Someone who keeps nothing. Okay, let's get back. Someone who keeps
Yeah.
nothing of what they receive for themselves, but use it for the benefit of others. This is seva. This is the kind of person who deserves our seva. This is a very, very important distinction. And I think a lot of us Indians are very confused about this. Next slide, Parimal. One more concept, attachment and connection. When we are attached to something or someone, some object, something, we don't want to give it away. And we spend all our energy holding on to it, clinging to it. This really is what drains us. And it drains the other. It drains the recipient as well, just as much. But when we connect from a place which is significant. We connect to people and things. And when we connect in that way, we want to give and we want to share. This is the connection of a mother-child. This is the kind of connection I'm talking about, because it keeps no track. It keeps no records. It keeps no accounts. It just does. Because a mother operates from the fullness and completeness of her love for her child, not from a sense of lack. This kind of giving empowers just the giver as much as the recipient. And that truly, guys, is what significance is about. Next slide, Parimal. So connection, and here's the crux of it, and here's the secret. Connection is what leads to significance. Next slide. Love is the currency. Love is fulfillment. Love is the answer to every question. And I'm going to try something. Just see if you can hear it, since the sound didn't work. Is this audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Can reduce the volume, please.
Feel free to swing. All of us know this song. Come on, you can sing. Sing along, sway.
किसी के मुस्कुराहटों पे हो निसार
जीना इसी का नाम है.
Okay, President.
राहतों पे हो निसार, किसी को ले उधार, किसी के रास्ते हो तेरे दिल में प्यार, जीना इसी का नाम
है.
Listen to this. The words are important. One last paragraph. Mummy, can you go mute? जीना इसी का नाम है. That is folks' significance. Last slide, Parimal, please. The fuel.
The last side simply says, we wish each one of us significance. And love is the fuel.
Thank you, folks, for your attention, for your patient hearing and all of that. We are open to questions if you are not bored of us and want to discuss the subject further. I hope you all really enjoyed this. It's a reminder, really. It's not preaching, it's just a reminder. And I think all of us need this once in a while. We are all big givers. I know, especially us Rotarians, we do a lot for a significant life. Questions? Comments?
Thank you, Kshama and Parimal, for reinforcing those things that we already know, but we keep forgetting. Thanks a lot. My name is Rotarian Shyam Sundar. I have a question. A lot of my NRI friends, their parents are growing old. So, they can't come back to India to take care of them. And so would you consider, are the parents being selfish that they want the kids back to take care of them? Or are the kids being selfish for not coming back to take care of them? A lot of the parents are going to old age homes. So who's being more selfish? Is it the parents or is it the kids?
Parimal, should I take this or you want to take it?
Go ahead.
Okay, so here, nice to meet you actually. I know you are a Midtowner and we haven't really met. So here's what it is. I'm a parent and, during COVID, I've been wanting to visit my very aging parents. They live by themselves. There is a brother close by, but they live on their own. Life is tough, right?
Yeah.
And we have to make these choices. Now, does my love for my parent become less because I'm not present for them? There are ways in which I can be present for them. My physical presence may not be required, but if, let's say, I was out doing other things and ignoring the fact that my parents are by themselves, or if they were ill and needed me, I think it is my bounden duty to take care of my parents. Now, I consider, when we talk about dance, seva, all of that, I consider the service of parents as seva.
Sure.
It's not something that we can extricate ourselves from. And in fact, interestingly, I had this conversation just with my mother today. She asked me, she said, it's lonely, but don't come. I was planning to go and, at whatever risk. And she said, don't come. It is lonely sometimes, but, what do you do? And I said, Mom, think about your mother. She had 5 children and she lived by herself. And you were not able to go to her very often. And you were not even able to bring her. So life is like that, right? But it is, if this cycle goes on and if this goes on, we will perpetuate it. And eventually then we go down the Western road where children absolutely put their children in old age homes and parents in old age homes and live with it without guilt. I don't think they live without guilt. I have enough friends out there in the West who are ridden with guilt, Right? At the end of the day, I think the significance, this answer to significance, lies in our own self. Can I live with something, right? And really speaking, we all know, and my 3-year-old used to ask me, Mama, what's a lie? And I used to tell him, when the heart flutters, when you know that you've done something that doesn't feel very comfortable inside you, don't do it.
Sure.
And I say the same about this, that when we are in a two-way street where, or rather a shaky street where we are not sure of what is morality, what is right, what is wrong, consult inside. I think we all have the answers. We have the right answers.
Thanks.
It's all in the intention.
The hard path is the right path.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think, Shyam, the old Indian tradition used to be that after an age, the parents would sort of depart into vanvas,
Yeah.
and remove that burden from the children who were in the prime of their life. I mean, that's the then equivalent of an old age home, I guess.
Yeah, and in fact, because there was no time, Ravi, I did want to touch on this part about sannyas, right? Sannyas is an intentional giving up of things. It is not something that you snatch away from yourself, right? It is a slow withdrawal from the pursuit of gaining more and giving more. Sannyas doesn't have to mean that we go somewhere. We can practice sannyas even now. We all can practice it. Do we have to depend? So also, if we've led a life where we are not building dependencies on children, right? Where we are also not building dependencies on each other and spouses. It's a huge, I mean, and all of us are at that age, some of us have even sadly lost our parents. You see them struggling. Like I see my parents struggling every day. What will I do without the other? Right? This codependency that we get into, right, is also something that we need to plan. I often used to tell my father, who was very successful, that Dad, when all this is gone, right, go back to your music, go back to your love for art, go back to all of that, because that will sustain you through these days when the body will give up, when your partner will not be there, or the other way around, right? But most of us in the quest of living are not planning for that time. And then that is what Ravi means. We then become burdens, and nobody wants to carry that burden. Nobody wants to carry the burden of someone who didn't plan not to become a burden.
Kshama, may I come in?
Yeah.
There's a vast difference between Western culture and Indian culture. In Indian culture, the son is with the children are with the parents for life, and the parents are with the children for life. The responsibility to take care of parents is absolute. I sometimes find it very uncomfortable when people say, my parents live with me. The house may belong to you, but you live with your parents. So, if I have been unable to take care of my parents because I went abroad, I did this, I did that, I am not, taking care of my responsibility. I see it in black and white. There is no two ways about it. This is what the duty is. Karo na karo, nahi kar pa rahe ho, whatever it is. Yes, there is a certain degree of helplessness. My very next door neighbor, a Parsi couple, very eminent couple in Baroda, vice chancellor of the university. The husband was in intensive care for 4 months. One of the sons is one of the topmost managers in Intel. The other is a professor. They did not leave his side, and what a heroic battle this family has put up. They were there for him.
Super.
So नहीं करना चाहिए. We have what our parents have done so much for us. यार कब करेंगे? Something very interesting. Mr. Bhatia, who is the managing director of a silk company here in Bangalore. He was talking to me and he says, you know what? My father passed away in just 2-3 days. I said, painlessly? He says, yes, painlessly. I said, oh, unke liye to acha tha. He says, no, I have a big problem with him for having passed away the way he did. I said, क्यों? सेवा करने का मौका नहीं दिया, सेवा करने का पुण्य नहीं दिया. Did not give us an opportunity. 2 sons. We would have loved to be with him. So, kuch bhi karo, there is always a way out. There is, can't do this. In Hawaii, and there is this issue of parents interfering within the family and this and that and the other. The youngsters not being able to do what they want to do. I was staying with a Rotarian family in Hawaii, and he's been twice district governor, once district governor in Alaska, and then a district governor in Hawaii, person of Japanese origin. And he says, if you want to come to Hawaii and you want to stay here and you want to write or do whatever you want to do, I have a place for you. Let me show it to you. So there was the main bungalow, and around the bungalow he took me, and he took me to a small bungalow. And he says, this is called an ohana. It is a Hawaiian custom that when parents reach that age where they can no longer work, they go and stay in the ohana. They are with you and yet they are not with you.
Thank
My
you.
question.
Thank you. I'll
Yes.
suggest them the ohana for sure. Thank you.
But a very, very good question.
Yes, Sham.
Very, very good.
Superb. Superb. Very thoughtful.
Anything else, or Ravi, the call is yours.
There are no more questions. I'll request President Anu to give a vote of thanks.
Thank you so much, Rotarian Parimal and Rotarian Kshama. It was a very beautiful session for enlightening our minds and showing us a new path of significance, of course. Concept of, it's totally new for me, concept of completeness by Rotarian Parimal, and concept of me, we, and I'm sure I'll not forget Dan, Selfless Seva, and for the lovely song by Kshama. I was listening to this song after a long time, very, very long time. Jeena Isi Ka Naam Hai. We did feel very content, happy, and of course, the best thing what we have learned is to hold on to loving others. Love is something very beautiful, which we always have to be carrying with us like a soul. That's what you have explained to us, that we can achieve anything and path of significance through love. Really a very beautiful session. Of course, it's my privilege to propose this vote of thanks and acknowledge both the Rotarians' contributions for this session. I would like to thank Rotarian Ravi, Secretary Rotarian Palani, and all the Midtowners who are here. Of course, the dedicated team to have planned such amazing speakers for the evening. And it was a wonderful program and giving us the opportunity to be a part of this joint meeting. Thanks to President Rotarian Valerie, Secretary, Joint Secretary who is here, Rotarian Vani Prakash, and all the members of Rotary Bangalore Kalyan for joining us for the special speaker meeting. Finally, I would like to thank our club secretary of Rotary Orion Gateway, Rotarian Sunil Sahadev, and all my Orioners who have joined this meeting and who have enjoyed this wonderful session, and all the Rotarians, aunts, Annets, and friends for joining this meeting. Thank you once again, our guest speakers, Rotarian Parimal, Rotarian Kshama, and Rotarian Ravi for this program. Thank you.
Thank you, President Anu, for those very kind words. I think we can say that Midtown feels complete with both the Orioners and the Kalyanis joining in. I look forward to more such sessions, maybe joint projects. So with this, I will, with your permission, adjourn this meeting today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Everyone.
Thank you, Kshama and Parimal. Very rarely do I see similar numbers at the start of a meeting and at the end of a speaker meeting. So that itself, I think, says a lot for the captivating work that you'll have done today. Fantastic.
Ravi, if I could
Yes.
say something, if you can have such excellent speakers, I could imagine what an excellent project we could have together.
I'm sure.
Well said, Valerie.
It was a fantastic session. Sorry, ma'am, tell me.
But I was just saying, Midtown is always happy to share.
Awesome, awesome.
Thank you so much.
I'm sure Ravi will have no hesitation and will have the full backing of his club. So.
Absolutely.
Lovely. It was a beautiful evening today. Thanks to both of you all, Parimal and Kshama. And so thanks to you. Your talk was so touching, in fact. It was extremely something out of the world, I didn't even expect we are going to have a session like this. Thanks to you, sir. Thanks you. Thanks a lot. And Kshama, you were just excellent. I don't know from where the knowledge and, that experience, it was like living an experience by both of you all. Thank you so much for that.
I mean, it was so touchy that, after the session, I'm going to immediately call my parents. So that, it's that very touchy. I feel I have not called them today. So I'm so happy and gifted in life that I have such beautiful parents.
Absolutely. Really. It was very, very touching. I really loved the session. Great, great, great session. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
God comes as reminders. This is another point to significance. When we forget something, if we listen to the signals of the source and the universe, we get them. We get these reminders. We're just not paying enough attention. We're so busy gathering success, right?
Absolutely.
Actually, on this topic, there is so much to be said. So much to be said.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And, we could go on and on for a day, seriously. We've had to pick and choose, and, there's a frustration inside us that there's more to tell, and, the time limit.
Parimal, we'll have one more session.
Yeah.
Certainly, Ravi, certainly. Ravi, don't leave us out.
Don't leave us, Ravi. We are going to be there.
Anytime, Ravi, you know that.
Both Parimal and Kshama. Parimal actually did one fantastic program for us of learning life lessons entirely through Bollywood music.
Oh my God. I can't imagine that.
It was a funny evening.
It was fabulous.
Okay.
Yeah, we've had Rocky, then Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, Rocky 5. We can always have sequels for such programs.
Correct.
With Parimal and Kshama.
Thank you.
Anytime you say, anytime you
Ravi,
say.
you should not hide these kind of jewels, actually. You have to expose them to the whole of Rotary,
Absolutely.
I think we can make world a better place to live in.
Absolutely, yeah.
So now with both of you all as ambassadors, the thing is that I am a fairly reticent person. So with both of you all as brand ambassadors, I'm sure that their light can shine through.
You are doing the most here, Ravi. Come on.
Presidents, if you don't mind, I have a suggestion.
Yes.
I request you to speak to the DG and have Parimal and Kshama give our entire 3190 or the entire of India, the whole of India, such a wonderful session because this really touched our hearts.
Very good suggestion.
Because our parents have taught us so many things, and whatever you all spoke today had some connection to it, which has made us even more humble than whatever our parents have taught us to be. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. Thank you so much.
I mean, they have made
You're
all
more
of us
than welcome.
emotional.
She's Yvonne from Rotary Bangalore Kalyan, past president.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
Thank you, Yvonne.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
When you start thinking on these lines, you are kind of saying to yourself, ये किसका है ये सब और मैं किसको दे रहा हूँ और मैं देने वाला कौन हूँ? You just get totally mind boggled when you start thinking on these lines. The concept of nimit. And we who are in a situation to do dan are so lucky because God has given us the opportunity to do good things. So, it just boggles my mind, the concept of even nimit.
Because we come with nothing and we go with nothing. These few days, hours, minutes, what we stay here on this earth, why do we have to show off?
Exactly.
I mean, that's our concept. That's how we've been brought up. So today's was a real mind opener. I mean, an eye opener to everybody. And
there is no religion that does not talk about giving systematically.
Yes.
Islam has the concept of zakat.
Yes.
It tells you who are the 6 worthy recipients.
Yeah.
Right? Christianity has the concept of tithing. It tells you who to give it to.
Yes.
So you just need to, it's there. It's not rocket science. It already exists.
Absolutely.
And many a times you just write a check without thinking, ये पैसा कहाँ जाने वाला है? Those that fund terrorism think that they are donating for religion.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we just need to give, and we need to give more scientifically.
Due diligence.
Due diligence, absolutely. Absolutely.
Ravi is a big advocate of that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. He's right. He's right.
You cannot just
And can we give to build capacity? Can we build, give to teach people to fish rather than give them fish?
Exactly.
And Rotary is a brilliant mechanism whereby all these things can be done.
A lot of it is being done, in all fairness.
Yeah.
More could be done. Definitely.
No, I was very conscious of the fact that, when I speak to Midtown, I'm talking to people who are mostly major donors, who are at least Paul Harris fellows. So, they are givers already. So
but Parimal, it gives a lot of satisfaction to give on the ground rather than write a check to the TR Foundation.
Yeah.
Which is what I was telling one of these ladies today.
Yes.
The amount of work that they actually do in fairly distressing physical environments carries a greater weight than all the major donors.
Yeah.
And this is why there's one more point that I wanted to bring up today, which because of time I didn't, is the Mother Teresa's way of giving, right? It is truly going out there on the streets and seeing her Jesus in all those distressing disguises, right? When you see life like that, that is when you are actually making a significant contribution. That's why she's remembered, and we'll probably just become a checkbook or a pay leaf somewhere when we give and go away, because we don't stay connected to the pursuit. Thank you, Ravi. This is excellent even for us. While making the presentation, we had so many discussions. So
good.
Yeah.
Thank you both once again.
Wonderful session,
everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Take care. See you.
Good night. Good night.
Take care. Good night. Bye-bye. Great meeting you. Bye.
Bye.
I'm going to, when I end the meeting, it's going to end, okay?
Yes,
So,
please. Bye.
yeah, okay.
Bye, bye, bye.
Since I'm the host, so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye. Good
Thank
night.
you.
Bye. Good
Bye.
night.
Good night.